Hey, what's going on, positive people? What's up, Holy Culture family? This is B+, and you are tuned into the Be Positive Music Show right here on Holy Culture Radio, SiriusXM channel 140. And today is a very special show. I am sitting next to my big bro V. Say what's up to the Holy Culture family.
What's up, Holy Culture? What's going on?
Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. For you, those of you that don't know, and for those of you that follow the channel, you know I say all the time that this guy right here is the reason why I fell in love with Christian hip hop.
Yeah.
First got a chance to listen to it. There was an album. It had, I think it was red and black letters on it. This is like mid 90s. Do you remember?
No, it was earlier than that.
It was?
Actually, yeah. This is like the early 90s. We're talking almost before Grapetree's inception, which was with Barry G.
Barry G.
And
it was red and black?
It was red and black. It had his face on it, close-up shot, and in yellow lettering across the top, it said Barry G.
Got it. It's crazy how like your brain can just like go back and remember certain stuff. So we're talking early 90s. And by 1999, I was a full-fledged Christian hip hop fan. I was like, this is something that I can really rock with. Yeah. For the rest of my life. And then the Cincinnati scene here among Christian rap, gospel rap was just crazy.
Man, legendary, man. You got some legends that have come and are still doing things out of Cincinnati, man. For real.
Yeah, we got the K dramas, we got the D mobs.
Theory Has It.
Theory Has It was here for a little bit.
Yep.
He was here for a little bit doing this thing. So it's a rich history of Christian hip hop here.
Yeah.
And I'm here in the city. So I figured let's pop by your studio. So we are actually recording live from Planet Production Studios here in the Cincinnati area. So if you're ever in this area and you like what you see, this all can be yours for money.
That's very, very true.
Yeah,
very true. So, very affordable.
Very affordable though. So Planet Production Studios. This is gonna be fun. We're just gonna kind of kick back, relax, and just kind of talk about Christian hip hop. A chance for me to kick with my brother live on the airways. So you mentioned just kind of the introducing me to Christian hip hop mid 90s. By the late 90s, there was an album that came out, the Cross Movement, House of Reps.
Yeah.
Remember that album cover art?
Was that the one where they had the button ups up top, and then down below they was wearing the army fatigue shorts and the sneakers and stuff? Yeah, man, that was a classic album. And that was my introduction to Cross Movement. I had it was at Berean Bookstore. Yeah. And it was the cover that caught my eye, and I was like, ooh, okay, what's this, whatever. And I put it on. This is during a time in which we didn't have streaming.
Nope.
You couldn't just get a snippet.
Nope.
You had to actually go get the actual CD.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't available, they had to crack open the seal.
Yeah.
And then put demo on there
all the time.
And then you had to go in to find a CD player, put on a little Sony headphones, smash into your ear so you can get the bass.
Yep.
And then you would give it a listen, and that's when I was like, oh snap, y'all gotta check these people out. They like Wu-Tang.
Yep.
But they do a gospel. So
Yes, that's a throwback for me. That's 1999. That's when I fell in love with Christian hip hop. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna hop into a quick song. So the name of the song is Superstars. It's by Cross Movement, but more specifically, it is The Ambassador. So you guys sit back, relax, hanging out with B+ and my big brother V right here on Holy Culture Radio, SiriusXM channel 140, and we will be right back. Peace.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But no matter who they are, I know we're in the era of the human superstar, but no matter who they are, they fall trying to pull a coup d'etat.
We on the rise to reach our goal. Strictly Jesus and good news, the gospel.
Don't cry if you scared to give your life. Lord, give me power when it's time to throw blow, and give me speed when it's time to roll up. Now all the homies on the West Coast.
And we are back right here on the Be Positive Music Show. I'm B+, hanging out with my big bro V. We are gonna really quickly, before we hop into another short little chat here, let's talk about the songs that I played, all from the 90s, all I believe from 1999. So the very first song I played was Superstars. That was by Cross Movement, in particular The Ambassador. The next song was by Unity Clan featuring Tone.
Unity Clan and Tone.
They have a bunch of dope songs together.
That album, that first album they dropped was just, it was mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
Yeah. The name of the song that we played was Break It Down. Really, really, really cool song. And then the last song was by Pedity. Give Your Life. Yes. We Ain't Scared.
We ain't scared. What?
We ain't scared.
Yeah.
So that was a dope moment. And that just really shows you just how versatile Christian hip hop is. I mean, we have the Christian Wu-Tang. We got cross movement. So we East Coast. Then we went out to the West Coast with like that G-Funk sound.
Right.
We're breaking down, and then we went down to Jacksonville.
That was
Duval.
That was like Bone Crusher. Remember Bone Crusher?
Yeah. But Pedity did that before Bone Crusher.
He did.
He actually kind of the whole We Ain't Scared. He was doing that before all those guys.
Right.
So shout out to Pedity, an old school sounds legend in the Christian hip hop space. So let's keep going. So we're gonna jump, another 10 years. So from 1999, around that time, moving up 10 years, probably into like 2012. I love this because we knew about all these artists. You don't know where I'm going, but I think you'll pick up pretty quickly.
Okay.
All these artists were bubbling in separate areas.
Yep, I know.
And then
exactly
all at the same time, sort of like the Avengers, they combined their forces.
Yep.
And punched CHH in the mouth.
But it's later good.
So just take it. So who am I talking about?
We Live as Kings.
Yeah, We Live as Kings.
We live as Kings. We actually had a chance to see them when they came to Cincinnati too.
Yes.
So that was a dope experience as well. And you know what? Fun fact
is
I still have that album unwrapped.
Really?
It's still in the plastic.
Still in, because you knew
in the plastic because I knew. And I only have just that one.
But you just didn't want to open it.
I didn't want to open it because I wanted that moment to be sealed forever in my life.
See, we need to have a Christian hip hop museum.
I would definitely donate
where people can donate. You can have it back.
Right.
We'll insure it.
Right. But, exactly.
That would be crazy because I have something like that too.
Okay.
This is not Christian hip hop, but Molly Music. Not the second coming. He had in like a paper sleeve.
Yeah.
It was just called The Coming.
Oh wow. Okay, I remember that album.
I never opened it because I was just kind of like, this dude is special. So I bought two of them because I wanted to play one, but I have that in the wrapping. So
that's crazy.
But yeah, so we had that's We Live as Kings, and that was made up of Dre Murray.
Yep. Alex Faith.
Yeah, Alex Faith, Swoop, and the great Christian Grey.
Yeah.
So it was just crazy because I still remember I was over at T's house. Shout out to our big sister T, we love you.
Yep.
I was over her house doing some yard work, and you sent me, and I think this was because of D-Mob, because the first song on the album had D-Mob on it on Hell's Paradise. So I don't know if D-Mob sent you it and then you sent it to me. I'm not sure how you got on Dre Murray. How'd you get on Dre Murray?
I believe I found Dre Murray just, I want to say maybe YouTube.
Okay.
But, I mean, but this was before D-Mob because I introduced Dre Murray to D-Mob.
Wow.
I remember this is dating back maybe a year or two before they even collabed and even came out with anything, because I went over to D-Mob's house. He was just kind of like putting together his studio in the basement. And so I was over there hanging out with him. Wow. And I said, yo, you got to check out this guy that I found. His name is Dre Murray. Have you heard of him? And I believe he was like, no. And I was like, hey, check out his work. And then from that point, I didn't know that he actually went and pursued that relationship.
Right.
And then that's when it was just like, oh, it popped off.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I mean, that's what we do. So it's no shock to me, because I come from that whole scene of doing Christian hip hop.
Right. People don't know that. Forever in Christ music was a big deal here in Cincinnati. Not just Cincinnati, but like the tri-state area. Not the New York tri-state area, but like the Cincinnati. So we got Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. And like you guys were huge. And I grew up sitting on those studios in Lazarus basement.
Just hanging out sometimes too.
Yeah. I mean, I remember D-Mob taught me how to play dominoes down there. So I was hanging out. I was a kid hanging out with like all the cool people. K-Drama would come through.
Yeah, man. It used to be like the frat house, or
it was crazy,
or like the Real World, but it was like before Real World even became a thing. It was just like Real World of like gospel hip hop, artistry.
Absolutely, man. It was a fun time. And I feel like that's a big reason why I would just fell in love with Christian hip hop.
Yeah,
because it wasn't just popping in the East Coast because of Cross Movement, the West Coast because of Gospel Gangsters,
right?
Like the Tennessee area because of Grits. We had Petty D holding down Duval. We just didn't have. Then you had later Reach Records, but even before that, like we had the Cincinnati scene.
Oh yeah,
and like you said, Theory Hazard was in this area as well. So it was it was a super fun time.
It was thick. I remember we even did like a head count at one point, and it was sitting somewhere about around 50 gospel rappers here in the city at one point. And I'm giving a low number because I remember it being higher than that, because we was doing, when I said like we did a head count, just within FIC alone, we had 13 rappers at one point.
Wow.
So just to let you all know, like when I say 50 years, like, man, come on, man. I'm giving that as a low number because you had this clique that was with K-Drama, and K-Drama's this clique records, they was matching in numbers. They had about 10 or 13. So that's already 26, 25 people just with just one label. And then you had a bunch of like individuals out there. So like 50 was really manageable here in the city of Cincinnati. Yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy for sure. So let's go ahead and get into some music. Let's get into some music. Let's speaking of We Live as Kings, let's hop into Yahweh.
Oh man.
YHWH. I remember that song got an encore. Remember they did it?
Oh yeah,
we was like, everybody was there. K-Drama was there, Mob was there. We was going crazy, and they ran that song back. But before we go down another story, you guys check out this song. Once again, this is B Plus hanging out with my big bro V, and we will be right back.
Yahweh is the one and only. What you running up? Running everything. What you running up? Running everything. God said love your neighbor like you love yourself, but when a man wants a man and he's on the shelf.
And we are back. Welcome back to the Be Positive Music Show. I am B Plus, hanging out with my big bro V. Say what's up to Holy Culture fam again.
What's going on, y'all?
Yeah, we are back. Just kind of hanging out. I'm up here in Cincinnati, getting a chance to rest, relax. I got inducted into my high school basketball Hall of Fame this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Which is crazy, because I never even thought that would be a possibility, but yeah, so it was fun. It's fun to be up here at the school. It's a brand new school. I didn't recognize anything, but just seeing that blue and green.
Oh, that's forever.
Yeah,
what I believe.
It just bring back so many good memories. So to see a lot of my favorite coaches were in the building as well. So a lot of fun. But before we hop into some more conversation, let's talk about those last two songs I played, showing some love to just We Live as Kings. So the first song I had was YHWH Yahweh. That was by Swoop and Dre Murray specifically. And then the next song I played was Stop Me. That was by the great Christian Grey. Also shout out to Alex Faith as well. So let's keep going. So
let's do it.
CHH as a sound and as a genre has matured. One thing that was interesting about Christian hip hop early on is they had the stigma of being corny. And that was for a couple of reasons. I think it's just because it was just new, and it was it was just new. But I think a lot of that had to do with just because the mixing and mastering just wasn't up to snuff.
Yeah,
and also it cost a lot of money to make music back then. And that's something that you were doing back then. So I guess talk a little bit about like from what you remember in that Cincinnati scene within Christian hip hop, and just like how you guys push each other to like push past people saying it was corny, or pushing past and using the resources that you had to put out quality music.
Gosh, man. So how can I summarize it, because it's so rich, but to go back in time and talk about how we were able to kind of push past the stigma of it being corny. We didn't do too much focusing on that narrative. We was like, we're better to show, not tell.
Yeah.
So we pushed each other to better our craft with the little that we had, because we was young. We was in our teens still.
That's true.
So just imagine we weren't on a huge career path where we had the funding to be able to work on that level. So we kind of got our start producing tracks on like a single keyboard. We had like a speaker.
You were doing the graphics as well?
Yeah, and
I was a one-stop shop.
Yeah, I was doing the graphics, the logos for everybody. So did the CD cover designs back then. I started out with that being the pitch to Forever in Christ Music. I said, hey, I could do your CD cover designs, and that's when I met D-Mob. And we've been like this ever since. The same thing with
That's
Lazarus.
like 98, 97?
That was actually 99.
Okay, 99. Okay.
99, because at first it was just me and C Short. We did a song together, and from that point, I found Lazarus's album, and that's when D-Mob was on that last track, Laugh at the Devil. I gave Lazarus a call. I told him, I said, hey, I just bought your album. It wasn't even an album. It was 3 songs. It was 2 songs with Lazarus.
That's a maxi single.
Yes, a maxi single, And so we went out that evening, us 3, we went to Dave & Buster's, and we had a good time, and the rest was history. But during that moment, we was all really trying to not make sure that we were coming off as corny.
Exactly.
Because we was kind of comparing ourselves to like, okay, so if the world is operating on this level, we got to try to get there as close as possible. Because even though we didn't have the millions, we did the best that we could.
Right.
And we planted those seeds, man, and it grew. Out of that came a lot of career opportunities, a lot of friendships, like I said, the K-Dramas, the Big Steves, and all the other people, the Theory Hazards and stuff. Yeah,
it's just crazy. It's hard to. I mean, you think about it. To me, it just kind of reminds me of like when you look back at NBA stars or football players. You're just kind of like, those 2 guys played at the same high school. Like the craziest one for me is like White Chocolate, Jason Williams. He went to high school with Randy Moss. He was throwing Randy Moss lobs in high school. It's like, no wonder y'all like.
It makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like it makes sense that like K-Drama was here.
Right.
Dope producer.
Right.
Did you have somebody like Theory Has It that was in this area? So it's just like if those are the people in the area, that it just raises everybody else's level. So so it's dope to see where we are at as far as just like our production. And so what I want to do now is get back into some more music.
Let's do it.
But I want to it's just 2 songs right now, just like production wise and just skill wise. They're just crazy to me. So we're gonna hop into the first one. It's by somebody who just keeps getting better and better, even at his age. That's Lecrae. It is featuring Miles Minnick. They have a joint project coming out in about a week or so. I can't call the name of it right now. I'll get it on the back end of this music set. The name of this song is Heaven Sent. Once again, this is the Be Positive Music Show, hanging out with B+ and my big bro V, and we will be right back.
Put me on the line for that. Off top, locked in on 10. Heaven sent. We ain't got no time for that. I ain't got no ties to that. Not bring no demon around the clique, cause we gon' set them up. The only which I'm with is purely fiction. Word the alphabet. When I hear Yeshua, it's direct. No need a cellular.
Yep. We have about 15 minutes left in the hour. This has been a lot of fun. We will get to some Christian R&B, but we have some conversation to have, and we also need to let you guys know what you heard during that last quarter set. So the very first song I played was entitled Heaven Sent. That was by Lecrae and Miles Minnick. And they have a brand new album coming out in about, it'll be out on May 16th. I don't want to date myself. And you guys check that out. Actually, I'm looking at it right now, and it's pretty interesting. So he has all the singles on there. Get Well Soon. It's like I guess an intro track. On Time is the next song. And then he ends the project with Heaven Sent, but he has songs in there, but just coordinates.
Yeah, longitude, latitude, coordinates, degrees.
I haven't said longitude or latitude since I was in Winton Woods High School. so I guess we could just have to maybe copy and paste those in and figure out. I wonder if there's street corners maybe in LA, because this is going to be a LA sounding album. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So shout out to Lecrae digging back into just supporting, and like I'm wearing a shirt now, long live CHH. It's gonna live long if we're connecting our generation. So but yeah, it's time to get into some Christian R&B now. One of the OGs in this Christian R&B, he rapped too, gospel rap too. But one of the legends is Canton Jones.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Tell me what you remember just
Canton Jones for me goes back to when they had those CDs where it was like, holy hip hop culture. 2020 volume, whatever it was, and it was like 2003 Christian hip hop, artist or whatever, and you would find like Nota Verbs would be on there or Shay Atkins, and then you would just be like
Shay Atkins.
Ken Jones was on there frequently, like he was a dude.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of when I was living in South Carolina, and you and D-Mob went down to the Holy Hip Hop Awards.
We sure did.
And I remember, and no, you were in Rhode Island.
We connected. We all connected.
He came from Cincinnati.
Yeah, and I came from Providence, Rhode Island. Drove down.
Crazy. That was a fun weekend.
It was, man. It was dope. It was dope to see people that I ain't seen in a while. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was definitely.
Kenny was there too. Did Kenny come to that one, or was it a different one? Kenny McNeil.
I think he came to a different.
Okay,
one.
it was different.
Because I would even say before that, FIC, Forever in Christ Music, went down.
Okay,
also too.
Okay, so I'm mixing it. Yeah, that was right after D-Mob launched One Route Entertainment.
That was before.
Really?
Before, because One Route Entertainment happened the same year I left and moved to Rhode Island. Because while I was in Rhode Island, I designed all of the branding for One Route Entertainment.
That's crazy. Crazy.
And did the whole Timeline album cover.
Yeah. Nobody. One thing I remember about the Holy Hip Hop Awards was Canton Jones brought a plethora of humans on the stage. It was so many people.
Yeah.
And he shut the whole thing down. I remember losing my mind. I was just like,
yeah.
He put on a great set. But he has an iconic Christian R&B song.
I'ma stay safe.
That's it.
I'ma stay safe.
Man, speaking of that song, I remember, this is hilarious. I remember, shout out to Abundant Life Apostolic Church. That's where I was going at the time.
Yeah.
So we were there, Kenny Boo Mathis. And I think it was Kenny McNeil as well.
Yeah.
This is Sunday night service. So this is testimony service. You remember, they don't do testimony service anymore.
Oh, wow. Oh, no, I'm afraid to see where this is going, but I kind of have a suspicion. Go ahead.
Yeah, so testimony service, for those that don't know, like you stand up, they call on you, you testify, you sing. If you sing, don't testify. If you testify, don't sing. Then if a lot of people were up, they would be like, all right, sentence praise. And you have to just say like some little, but testimony service was really dope. They need to bring it back, but with some parameters. But anyway, I say that to say that Boo got up and they were like, praise the Lord, Brother Mathis, go ahead and testify. He just broke out into the song. I'ma stay safe. And he started singing it. And then Kenny popped up on the other side of the room. Charlie Mathis popped up over there. And like just strategically around the church, ain't gonna start cussing. It was, everybody was singing and they were all looking like, what is going on? And it was just like, I remember like ducking under the pew like,
oh my gosh,
cringe. Why are we? It was, but I actually enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm just embarrassed because like that's just kind of what I was on. So
I'm sure that I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't have felt cringe. I would have just been like, wow, that's crazy.
But at the time the song was so hot, I kind of enjoyed it. Now it's like, that's just it's engraved in my memory. That actually happened.
That's crazy.
That actually happened. I don't know what happened afterwards at all. But that happened.
Come to my office.
Exactly. But anyway, we gonna go ahead and, speaking of that song, let's go ahead and hop into it. We gonna get into that. I gotta find some Shay Atkins too and drop that in.
For sure.
R&B set, throwing some love to the old school sounds. So let's go ahead and get to the song. This is Canton Jones. Stay safe. We will be right back, y'all.
Start cussing, I'ma stay safe. And even though I'm hot as fire, I'm gonna love you anyhow. I'm gonna love you anyhow.
All right, this has been the Be Positive Music Show. V, what you got for the people real quick?
Man, thank you very much for having me on the show and being able to go down memory lane with you, man. I really appreciate it. I thank God for my influence on you in your life to be able to see the fruits of the labor that we put forth, man. It's really awesome to see.
Dope. I really appreciate that. And really quickly, the song that I just got done playing, that was Praise Him by Shay Atkins. Go check her out. Obviously, I'm here in Cincinnati, so I have some interviews coming up with some Cincinnati legends and some newcomers as well. So you guys keep it locked right here on Holy Culture Radio. We are having a blast 24/7 over here. So you guys keep it locked Once again, I am B+. This is my big bro V. Peace in, confusion out, and be positive.
Hey, what's going on, positive people? Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. Make sure you like, share, and leave a comment below of your thoughts on this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Be positive, y'all.